Alright, guys, so I want to react to the injury report today because things got a little bad. So, starting off right away, DJ Turner was a limited participant in practice. Yesterday he practiced, today he was limited because he has a hamstring injury. And I almost said another hamstring, but he's not the guy who got another hamstring. It's a list of players at this point who have had hamstring injuries for us this year, and now this is just going to continue to go down the line. Obviously, Cam Taylor-Britt, he started with a hamstring injury, went more into an ankle injury, and then he is now out. Now, of course, for Chase Brown, who still has his hamstring injury, he was a full participant in practice, but DJ Turner was limited today, and we're going to have to monitor to him and see if he can go and play on Sunday. The thing that really sucks about this also is because our secondary is already very thin with our players, number one, obviously, Cam Taylor-Britt being out. Cheeto is 100% now, but there's always a chance of re-injury with him. And then obviously got Mike Hilton, who's a little bit older, anything could happen. And obviously now DJ Turner injured yet again another player injured. I don't say DJ Turner has not been injured this year. I'm saying yet again another guy's been injured. So it just adds to the injury report over and over and over again. And man, we cannot catch a break, can we, in the secondary? Alright, so that's absolutely horrendous right now. But Tyler Boyd has an ankle injury. He was limited on Thursday. We'll kind of monitor him. If he cannot go on Sunday, obviously that would mean Yoshi would get more reps. Trent Irwin would get more reps. And Chuck Sizzle might even get 2 snaps on offense. Let's not get a little too crazy now, but maybe 2 snaps on offense. Maybe we'll start utilizing him. Deontay Smith had a rest day on Thursday. It was a personal reason, so he is suffering an injury from last week, but it looks like it was a personal thing on Thursday. Jonah Williams has his back injury, was limited on Thursday yet again. We'll kind of monitor him, see where he's feeling in this upcoming weekend. Obviously, he's coming off the 2 worst games of the year for himself. So hopefully he can, somewhat get back against the Colts here. They don't have as strong of a defense as, Pittsburgh with TJ Watt, or obviously the Jacksonville Jaguar with Josh Allen. So now he gets a little bit of a rest to hopefully go against, the Colts, who just got rid of Shaq Leonard, who's one of their best defensive players. And overall wise, I think their best defensive player I want to say is Kitty Payne. I know they also do have DeForest Buckner, but Kitty Payne is their best pass rusher. So that's the guy he's going to be going against, and hopefully everything works out there. Sam Hubbard was limited on Thursday. He says he had a rest day. I think that's kind of like a rest / he practiced half fashion, so he was limited in the end. Same thing with BJ Hill. He was limited with his rest day. Akeem Davis-Gaither limited with his rest day. Now, Chase Brown being a full participant in practice is absolutely amazing. We'll kind of see what happens on Friday, but as long as everything tracks out correctly, he should be fine and ready to go on Sunday. Now, I talked about this yesterday, how he has his hamstring injury yet again, and as I said before, guys, this is not a new injury. This is an injury he suffered around 2 weeks ago. And so keep that in mind. This is an injury that really doesn't go away that quickly. Hamstring injuries very much linger in your body, and it's not something that you can really get away with or get away from until you have a long period of rest. So obviously, you kind of deal with it the whole entire season. The whole point of hamstring injuries is there's different severities to those hamstring injuries. Some of them are very, okay, you can kind of play on them, it's not a big deal, and then some of them get worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, of course, when it comes to hamstring injuries, the problem is once you get a hamstring injury, as you play more and more, you're breaking down your body. It could get worse very easily. So that's why, again, when you have a hamstring injury, you kind of want to rest as much as possible. But at the end of the day, we're right in the thick of things, right at week 14, 4 weeks before the playoffs. We're trying to make it to the playoffs. We're trying to make a playoff run. So Chase Brown, he wants to play, right? And now he's finding the opportunities. So we'll see how it ends up going. He could be on a limited snap count. Or he could just be on his typical snap count, which last week was 11 snaps. This week would probably be maybe 15 or 16, depending on how the game flow goes. But again, like I said, it's one of the situations where, the guy wants to play, and he's going to play if he wants to play, and we'll see how that ends up turning out. But having DJ Turner with a hamstring injury absolutely sucks the most because, again, our secondary is already thin, and now losing another cornerback would be detrimental to this team. But other than that, I'm hoping everyone can go on Sunday. My final guess is for this, before we look at Friday practice tomorrow, is Chase Brown is going to play. I think Keem Davis-Gator, pretty much everyone in this list right here will play. Outside of, I want to see if DJ Turner plays or not. That's kind of my theory right now. So for them, they did have Julius Brent, who was limited on Thursday. He had a quad injury. Braden Smith did not participate in practice on both days. He is not, looking like he's not going to play on Sunday. EJ Speed did not practice on Thursday. He also does not look like he's going to play on Sunday. Jonathan Taylor has already been ruled out according to sources, so he's not going to play. DeForest Buckner, one of the best, guys, he did have a shoulder injury, was a limited participant in practice. They also lost one of the defensive ends, it doesn't say on this list here, because he got caught with, substance. He had stuff in his system, that's what I'm trying to say. So he pretty much had PEDs. Performance enhancing drugs. So he got caught and he is now getting a 6-game suspension before our game. So he is out of here. Tyquan Lewis has an ankle injury, limited participant in practice. And Amir Speed was limited. He actually popped up on the injury report today after not being on the injury report all week with a hip injury. So obviously they also do not have Anthony Richardson, their starting quarterback. We are going to be going against Gardner Minshew. Now I will say overall wise, their offense, even without, with Gardner Minshew in there, it's still a very good offense. I want to kind of take a look at their depth chart real fast here to kind of break it down. But they still have a very good offense, even with Gardner Minshew in there. Obviously, Braden Smith is their starting right tackle. So if he cannot go in this game and he is out, which right now at this moment in time, it looks like he will not be in, that means they're going to have to go with Blake Freeland. Now, if you are a follower of the channel for any length of time and you follow my draft coverage part of the Cincinnati Bengals offseason, you know who Blake Freeland is. You absolutely know who this guy is. This is a guy we talked about many times. While he's not the best right tackle in the class, or best tackle in general in this class, he definitely had a lot of problems. I believe he's from BYU, which, again, like I said, if I am correct here, is he from BYU? He is from BYU. Yup, so this is the guy we covered extensively on the channel, because we talked about the Cincinnati Bengals potentially taking him, but I said many times, it didn't look like he was going to be a good player in the end. And now we're going to be playing him in week 14. So, a small world, right? We talked about this guy plenty of times this offseason, potentially as a draft pick, and now we're sitting here talking about him potentially as a player we're going to be playing. Other than that, Will Fries, love his name, Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, and then obviously at the left tackle. These two guys are some of the best in the league, so we're going to have to get some pressure on their quarterback. Having Blake Freeland in there is going to be absolutely amazing, just because we're going to have that right side pressure. Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, maybe Myles Murphy gets on that right side. A lot of times Myles Murphy is on that right side. That's usually where he lines up. So, should be good to go when it comes to pressure. So got Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, and Josh Downs, so really solid players. They also have Isaiah McKenzie. If you know who Isaiah McKenzie is, he is a ex-Buffalo Bills player. He is the guy who came out and said the reason why they lost in the playoffs to the Cincinnati Bengals was because of the snow. And the Bengals simply didn't do anything creative or good. They pretty much got lucky. So he was trash-talking us all offseason after losing to us in the playoffs, which I think is absolutely hilarious because now we get to play him. So there might be some talk between him and Mike Hilton. I'm not going to say 100%, but there might be some conversations going on in that aspect. Going down this list, though, JT is also out of this game, so they're going to be using Zach Moss and Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is an ex-San Francisco 49ers running back. Now, again, like I said, on the defensive line, their best guy is Kitty Payne. He's going to be the guy going after Jake in this game. But other than that, their defense isn't really that great. Now, of course, Juju Brent is their second-round draft pick in this last NFL draft. He is hurt, and if he does not play, which right now it looks like he is on pace to probably play, but play in a limited fashion, in all honesty, that would be a huge loss to them. Other than that, though, their team is, again, like I said, very solid. They are 7-5. They are trying to make the playoffs. They're in a very interesting division right now with the AFC South, especially with, of course, their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, having a high ankle sprain. So we'll see how that ends up working out in the end. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.